Good morning, guys, and welcome to today's episode of Market Check, brought to you, of course, by Because Bitcoin. A reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Welcome, guys. Happy Friday. I think this is maybe the second or third Friday in a row where we do have, quote unquote, blood in the streets. Bitcoin and ETH down about 4%. But really, the blood is probably more best seen in altcoins today than anything. It's probably exacerbating what's ultimately just going to be a blip on the radar. But I'm Snorlax. You guys also know me as Tommy. I'm joined by Max, Tucker, Jackus, and Dr. Will's Outlook. Welcome, guys. Real quickly, before we start cooking, before we start going through charts, and before we start sharing all of the big juicy alpha that we have accumulated here over the last week or so, we always appreciate when you guys could smash that like button. And there have been a few times this week where we have gone over 200 likes. One time we almost even hit 300 likes. So I just wanted to give a special shout out to the audience. You guys are the best. You guys rock. And the engagement that you've been giving the channel has really helped us, send our channel parabolically. So definitely wanted to shout you guys out here as we're about to get started here on this lovely Friday. But I hope you guys have had a great week. It's it's been I don't know if I would say a turbulent one, right? Because it really doesn't feel like assets are down that much this week from the start of the week. It might just feel like it because we like to talk about in shitcoin land, it is very like the time feels very compressed. One day here can feel like 7 or 8 in the grand scheme of things. So, the last few days being red, especially on altcoins, can kind of feel a little bit more extended than perhaps it actually is. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about all things charts. We're going to be looking at some of the best setups today, Bitcoin, altcoins, what we got going into the weekend. And of course, next week, is this just a blip? Is it going to be a bigger dip? Who knows? But we are going to talk about it and more on this show, guys. I'm excited. Like I said, Bitcoin, it's probably more or less still rebalancing the wick from yesterday. More so, the blood today has been kind of visualized through altcoins. I look across the board and they're down like 5 to 10%. The one thing that's not down, though, and I definitely think that some note should definitely be taken of it, is Solana. I haven't taken a look at it since this morning. Yeah, we're still up 3.5% on Solana. So there's no question what the strongest market within crypto right now is, and probably what you should be prioritizing on any dip buys. I want to say sold dipped when I woke up this morning, and then by the time I got out of the shower, it had like completely recovered. So a lot of volatility in these markets, but also a lot of markets that are showing a lot of strength that will probably translate not just into the weekend, but here over the next few weeks. Can say that maybe the sell-off today is driven by the fact that equities are down like 0.5% today. I really don't think it's anything too material, right? But we do have to talk about it, right? Equities, where are they going to pull back to? I'll be honest, I really don't have too deep of expectations on equities pulling back either. But that is probably, when we're talking about the causes of sell-offs locally speaking, that is probably what it is. But I think next week for equities will probably be a turning point in a positive way for bulls. And it'll probably be a dip that will ultimately be for buying here into April and May. And we've talked about the reasons for this, with risk markets. The dollar looks like it's about to fall off a cliff. I'm sure we'll talk about it again today, but like the dollar looks terrible. And generally speaking, right, that's usually very positive for risk assets. So, guys, welcome. Happy Friday. It's like I said, because we're in crypto, time feels maybe a bit more compressed. I mean, we were trading at all-time highs on Monday or Tuesday. And I want to say we were probably trading at these prices at the end of last week. So it's probably just a blip in the grand scheme of things. But what are we seeing in the markets today?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, man, I'm seeing a lot of fear. I just keep trying to tell everybody it's going to be okay as much as I possibly can, because it is going to be okay. The best is still yet to come. And actually, this is a very, I guess this turbulence, we'll call it, this turbulence at the Bitcoin all-time high is actually very much so necessary in order for us to go significantly higher afterwards, specifically in altcoins. This is something that we see Every single time that Bitcoin has made a new all-time high, we see people, they put down their guard, they get a little bit excited on the leverage, they start, throwing sloppy orders at it, they start FOMOing, and they leave themselves vulnerable or susceptible to being taken advantage of or being preyed on, locally speaking. And we're seeing just that. But again, this is a very, very healthy, strong-looking market. We are going so much higher. I've got some charts I'm going to share with you guys later in the show, but truthfully, I'm not expecting too much more pain from here. It's possible altcoins maybe continue to bleed a little bit, or at least select altcoins. But I mean, we're seeing there's some pretty recognizable and obvious signal that we've seen basically for the past 6 months, starting in early Q4, which is Solana tipping its hand to what the market is going to do next. All right. Solana has been a better barometer or gauge for risk this cycle than any other altcoin. Okay. Than anything. It led off of the bottom in Q4. It was the first to peak locally. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is Sol BTC. That's a perfect look. Like, it was the first altcoin to peak locally, specifically against Bitcoin, ETH, and then also its US dollar pair. Um, and again, now what is Solana doing? Solana is absolutely chatting against everything once again. All right. So Solana is, I mean, it's undoubtedly your risk on signal for this cycle. It's doing it again right now. And we're also seeing Sol Beta, like WIF, showing relative strength against other meme coins. We're seeing, additional Sol Beta like Jito showing strength. So,
Mhm.
we're just sort of reaccumulating and watching, things coil and correct locally, while your risk on barometer, Solana, undoubtedly, is probably headed towards all-time highs. And I had a tweet about this. Um, I think it was maybe earlier this week. I said, I'm pretty sure that everybody is about to feel underexposed to Solana again, because Solana is literally doing the ETH fractal from 2018 through 2021. And the real fun begins right as Bitcoin sweeps the previous all-time high and then pulls back and consolidates. And look at what's happening. So uh, I think, again, the best is yet to come. I think you're about to see, not just in Solana, by the way, because I actually think there's a lot of altcoins that are going to, do better than Solana here, because Solana's, we'll even dare say, like, a mega cap at this point in crypto terms. Solana's probably the easiest 5 or 6x, assuming that my bias plays out correctly. I think it's
Max, do you know what's the guaranteed 3x right now?
the Discord.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, Solana's it's probably a soft toss 5 or 6x conservatively. And there's a lot of coins that I think still have, 10x to go at least. But in terms of like an established network that is, drawing in a lot of liquidity and attention, doesn't really get much better than Sol, truthfully, guys. So, I look at this and I say, yeah, it's doing it again. How can you be so bearish on the market when we're seeing our classic, 6-month risk on indicator once again leading, showing strength against everything? And again, whenever Bitcoin does this, it sweeps the all-time high, it jeets, reaccumulates, and then it starts its next leg up. And when Bitcoin recovers from this drop here, guys, this is when alt season begins. Let me say that again. When this next leg up commences on Bitcoin, that is when alt season begins, and you begin to fade Bitcoin dominance on a 6-month time frame. So anyways, guys, things look fantastic. I'm happy that we're getting this out of the way right now. I'm even happier that Solana is giving us all of the signal and insulation that we need once again. Do not ignore it. Do not count it out. Do not dismiss it as a coincidence or something to be faded. Do not do that, because this is not something to be taken lightly. Again, Solana is tipping its hand. Solana is probably leading by 2 to 4 weeks at the most.
Yeah,
All right.
but the thing is, Max, is that most people aren't considering is that Solana is like the momentum indicator, right? I talked about this before. It doesn't have the TVL, so sustainability could be a problem when a bear market comes. But going into a secular bull, Solana will tell you what that volume looks like and whether or not it's risk on or risk off. And it is telling you it is full hands on deck, like dumpster diving, sub 1 million K coins, and literally coming out with like 60x in like 24 hours. I think one
I got rugged
indication.
already this morning on Soul coins, man. It's a very risk-on market.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Tommy. Here's how you can tell that the risk is only getting better, right? Is rugs are becoming less and less prevalent, right?
No, Will, I would disagree, bro. I would disagree, Will.
Look, I haven't been rugged the whole time. I'm just saying.
My wallet would definitely tell you otherwise, man. But like,
Will,
it's
the
like
rugs,
I did say
the
it on
more
Spaces.
rugs, the more bullish, Will. You have to understand this.
I'm just look. Here's the thing. Every coin right now, every culture coin out there right now is trying to be that next $1 billion coin. That's why they all have an ego. Every one of them have an ego, right? And they want to be that next $1 billion coin. And I think like when you look at a market where every meme coin, culture coin, wants to be that $1 billion coin, that's pretty bullish. That's pretty bullish. Not to mention, all the liquidity flow that you're seeing. I think a lot of people look at this on Sol and they're like, "Oh, this is just going to be a double top." That's look, that's a W. All right. I know you guys have seen that meme. That's a W. That's a E1. That's a W. Go ahead and draw
But
the W on there for them.
ETH just had an upgrade. I don't understand what's happening to the Sol ETH chart.
Look, we're gonna talk about ETH later, but like let's look at that. Let's look at that W. Let's draw that W out real quick. Go ahead and draw that out.
What chart do you want? This is Sol ETH. Do you want?
Yeah,
Sol
no, the one you got right there. Draw the W.
I mean,
so
like
the audience can see
sideways W or that?
all the way down. Yep, there you go. That's going much, much, much higher.
Mm-hmm.
Once you see a W, don't fade. That's just probably gonna break out. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably gonna break out.
Dude, it's most certainly gonna break out.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna peak, and then it's gonna put in another pullback, just like it did. And ETH will have ETH season. I'd be very interested to see how Sol performs when ETH is in price discovery. That'll be the real tell right there. Because when ETH gets into price discovery, that's when it can go vertical and kind of becomes that liquidity vacuum. I'm not even really willing to wager one way or the other. Just time will tell. I'm interested to see. I have exposure to both, but
Max, we've talked about how ETH does that at the end of the cycle, bro. ETH does that like once we're pretty deep into the cycle, which I don't think we are yet.
I think what I was gonna say real quick, and you'd probably agree. I think that the best thing for Sol USD is that ETH stays under all-time high.
I mean, I think Sol's gonna get to all-time high before ETH.
I would probably agree with that.
I did too. Like I'm not gonna lie, Max. I thought 500 was overshooting for Sol. Now I'm in the boat of 1,000. Like this thing's just
good man, Will. Good man.
Moving, man.
That's probably real.
Moving.
I was looking at the Sol chart yesterday because I've seen a lot of comparisons to BNB. And I think they're very fitting. I think you can see the comparisons not just to where BNB was. I'm not exactly sure at what point, like timing wise, it was in the cycle, but BNB looked a lot like the consolidation that Solana's breaking out before it went to 500. And the BNB ETH pair, ironically, looked very similar to Sol ETH as well.
All right, where does BNB
I feel
like
like Sol Tommy has taken BNB's spot from 2021, right?
It has,
because like BNB was the go-to secondary layer.
Not to demean BNB because it is.
Yeah.
I think it's almost at all-time highs. It's higher than that.
Are you saying? Was this the fractal you pulled, Tommy?
No, it's higher than that.
Where?
The consolidation
look like that?
It went turbo, man, in the very beginning of 2021. Not that far back. Higher up on the chart.
You said beginning of 2021.
Yeah.
Bro. What are you talking about?
You see that consolidation right there? Yeah.
This is the beginning of this?
Yeah.
I could see that.
I mean, what are we saying, that the Pico top of Sol is going to be $240?
I don't think I don't think you should
Bad.
focus on the multiple. I think more just the market structure, right? Like it could
Yes.
print the same pattern, but go, it could be twice in magnitude. In
So
terms
we're
of
going to
performance.
nuke back down to here, guys.
Well,
what are we
here's the thing
talking
about it.
here.
Look, BNB is about to make all-time highs, Tucker. So
This is
doesn't
the
end
fractal,
today.
though. This is literally the fractal, right?
Again, it doesn't have to be one for one, but there are similarities in structure. And now look at Sol ETH versus BNB ETH in similar time frames. I think they do look very similar.
I think there is a good thing to note. Tucker switched it already. That the fractal for BNB was above all-time highs, where Sol is still below. I still think that Sol goes to 600 above all-time highs. Like
I've got
that
the best Sol
fractal.
chart for you guys, man. I've got the best one. When you guys are done tinkering with this here, I'm gonna show it to you. It's truly incredible.
Hang on,
Go for it.
Tommy. Where? Here?
No, the zoom in a little bit.
On which one?
BNB ETH. It's about, that consolidation before it went turbo on BNB ETH.
Here?
No, a little
Right.
bit to the left.
Here?
To the right.
Are you talking about this tiny little thing?
Yeah. But I think you're going to see Sol probably play out a BNB cycle on a shorter time frame, right? And you see BNB already making all-time highs, or very soon it's going to make all-time highs again. Solana, in my opinion, it's inevitable that it's going to trade like 500, 600. It's just a matter of when that's going to be.
So is that the candle you think is this what you're
Basically,
saying?
yeah.
Adjust the time frames though, Tucker. So Sol is on.
No, it looks better this way. Trust me, Max. Trust me. Trust. But I can't get on board with this. This isn't gonna happen, man.
It might not. I'm just seeing. I see the similarities in the charts for when BNB broke out and when Sol broke out. It might not top the same way, but I think right now it looks very similar to when BNB was when it went from like $200 to 650 or $700 in like the blink of an eye.
Okay, so you're just really using it to capture the essence of the move higher,
right? And I also think it's very comparable. If you've been shitcoining on Sol and you shitcoined on BSC in the past, you can already see the similarities, not just in the behavior of market participants, but in the type of coins that you're speculating on. So I do think there are a lot of similarities between these two charts. Not that they're going to play out the exact same, but I think there are not just comparisons between the charts, but also as assets.
Bang.
The
This chart is
other
mine.
issue that I'm
You
having.
propagandized it.
Let me show you guys. You guys are way mid curving this. Let me explain to you all you need
I'm
to
not
focus
mid
on.
curving it, Max. There's
I
no
didn't
mid
either.
curving going
I did
on
not
here.
make-
All right, I
curve
just
it.
want to make sure there's no mid curving going on. Sol look like ETH last cycle. I buy Sol. That's it. Here
Yeah.
it is, guys.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's trading like this. Oh, the fractal looks like that. Save it, man. Sol do ETH fractal, ape Sol. That's it, man. Left curve it. Look at this thing, man. Hang on, Will. Hang on, Will. I'm not done yet. All-time high, low, deviation. Also, additionally, I love this. I love that the complacency shoulder happened right at the 0.5 fib on both. Blue dot right here, guys. This is exactly when Bitcoin made a new all-time high and did its sweep and jeet, just like it did last cycle. And look what happened with ETH. Busted through the 0.5 fib. Busted through the 0.5 fib. This is why I took this to Twitter back here when we were right below. We were at like 125, and I said, everybody's about to feel underexposed to Sol again as soon as Bitcoin gets above the all-time high. Look at it. Bitcoin all-time high. This timing is perfect, guys. It's literally doing the ETH fractal. I will see you at $874. I will see you at the 3.618 fib. That is where I will see you. Not a dollar before, not a dollar after. I will see you at 874. And if it goes to 1,000, congrats. But I like the 3.618.
Well, 1,000 is just a little
One
bit
thing,
of an overshoot,
just
which is possible.
one thing, Max, and consider this. Definitely keep this in your mind. Speaking from experience, totally agree on everything that was said. and you know that we've been discussing this scenario for a very long time. Just with the upside target, what I've learned, what market taught me, is that it's good to have the 3.62 as objective, but there is a like a like the way you want to approach the target for the market, which is the very often question from the people, like common question from the people, like where is the top? And the truth is that you do not know, and we need to see how the market behaves as we move up. What I'm trying to say is that the top can be around 600. Like there is very good chance and probability that we overshoot above prior all-time highs on Sol, and that's my base case. But I am willing to accept if I see the all-around market topping around, and Sol is trading around 600 at the time. I'm willing to say that it could stop there. At the same time, it could go to 4 digits. And I will not try to pick the top based on the East fractal, even though I think where the East fractal is useful is exactly in the whole, you know, when it how deep it goes, how the accumulation unfolds, how it goes to the upside. But then the top needs to be approached in a way where we simply look at the broader market conditions rather than just the FIP extension.
Yeah, and that's a great point, right? Like it's a nice guide here. But here's the deal, guys. When a lot of these coins, Solana included, start, ripping above their previous all-time highs, you start taking partial TPs, right? And I've said this before, looking at a fractal just like this on this show, I can't consider taking any profit until we are after the Bitcoin halving, and a lot of these altcoins are in price discovery. I refuse to accept that the cycle top is even near unless those two things happen. And I'll add a third thing. Bitcoin dominance needs to pull back for at least 3 months. Okay. I haven't seen any of my criteria met for any type of cycle top being in. I haven't seen it. So until that happens, I remain super duper duper long. It's that simple. But Jack, it's a great point. Like, is this set in stone that we're going to go to $874.60 and that's the Pico top? It's possible, but my Solana bag will be slowly shaved above $500, and I'll keep a runner on for 4 digits just in case it gets there.
Exactly.
Facts. This market. Oh, go ahead.
I think that's. I think the 2021 cycle was the best showcase of that, and I think some prior cycles in stocks the same, because I bet you that there were so many people trying to call the top on stocks year after year after year after year until one year they might get it, but even the bottom of the bear market is higher than their initial, this is the top. And the same thing was for Bitcoin. Everyone, like legit everyone, thought that it's basically going higher. Based on the prior cycles, there were estimates it's going to go higher. Based on everyone expecting at least 6 digits this cycle, and so forth and so forth. And what happened was that we had to watch for the broader market conditions, such as we've seen that the stock market was approaching its top. We've seen the interest rates, we've seen the problems, the rising inflation. We've seen, the mania all around, exchanges paying huge deals for advertisements on stadiums and stuff like that. And that's what and you essentially do not know each cycle when it comes, right? And I'm not saying it's that easy to see, but I'm trying to say that every situation needs to be adjusted for its context, basically.
All right, guys, soybean chart time. You make me do it again.
Over.
I'll happily do it, guys.
The audience.
I'll happily do it. We're going to go even lower here. 1 second time frame on the soybean chart, guys. And
the
line
audience
chart.
haven't learned anything. They haven't learned anything much.
Renko only.
This is way more boring than Renko, isn't it? The line chart on the 1 second.
You should just explore some different candles.
I like Renko, but there's too many colors, man. I want it to be so boring, man. Like
What's
this is
another
awful.
good one? What about
Here we could do the high-low style like this. That's abysmal.
point and figure? What is point and figure?
Yeah, let's see here.
Oh,
What about
this
Kagi? Kagi?
Agi.
1 second Kagi chart?
Do point and figure. What is it?
I think
Oh,
people
that's
don't like
terrible,
making
man.
money, guys. That's what it is. I think people
That's
don't like
awful,
making
bro.
money.
This
That's
is
bad.
all right, guys. Here's the deal. We're gonna stare at the soybean chart here. I'll do a little bit of TA, but yeah, guys. I mean, look, this is this is a tough discussion that we are forced to have on a daily basis. You know,
It's boring, isn't it?
I just, you know,
We are not enjoying this, guys. We are not enjoying charting
this is
soybean
painful for me. This is so painful. Please,
like
please don't
listen,
make me do this, guys.
your routine, right, guys? You open the BB Discord stream, you hear alpha, you press the like, you smash the retweet button on Twitter. It's not that hard.
Guys, here's the deal. Tucker, can you pull up the soybean chart, man? I can't
Of
even
course. Yeah,
I can't even
yeah.
explain what's happening. I'm so bored. So
Yeah, I got you, Max.
all right, Tucker's gonna do some TA on the soybean chart, guys. One day, Tucker.
Oh, sorry.
There you
It,
go. There you go. There you go.
Here we go.
All right, guys, here's the deal. This is punishment. All right, this is punishment. This is a digital spanking here, guys. And I'm sorry we have to do it again, but
Oh, wow.
we have almost 200 people watching on YouTube, and we only have 88 likes, guys. We're not even half of the audience has liked the stream. You are here enjoying Market Check, and you haven't liked the stream, guys. That doesn't seem right to me. I wish I didn't have to ask. I wish that we lived in a world. I dream to live in a world where one day the likes do not matter. I dream of it. But unfortunately, we live in a world that is ruled by like demandors, programmers that in the most linear, simplified way, they measure your worth based on likes. Guys, I dream of living in a better world, but unfortunately, there are things that are out of my control. Guys, please, if you are enjoying the content, please take one quick moment out of your day, just as we are taking time out of our day to be here. Please take one moment out of your day and hit that like button, guys. Again, we could all dream of living in a better world, not ruled by like demandors, but right now, it's the reality. It's an oppressive time. It's an oppressive time, and we need you to press the like button in these oppressive times. So, guys, please, if you're enjoying the content, you want to support us, all that we request is you take one quick moment, hit that like button, guys. Hit that like button, smash that like button, destroy that like button, and then we will get the 5-second soybean chart off of the screen, guys. But unfortunately, until we get to at least 100 likes, I cannot allow for the soybean chart to be removed. Oh, we're at over 100. Okay. All right. Thank God. Thank God. Whew. All right. I'm happy we're done with that, guys. That was
And
awful.
You can feel that Max wants to cook, and it's causing him pain to be on the soybean chart. You don't do that.
It feels like I got hit in the face, Jackus. Like it was awful. Guys, I'm sorry. That took an emotional toll on me to have to do that. You know, like I don't like carrying the weight of the 5-second soybean chart on my chest. It's heaviness. You know, it's so boring.
When
boring.
When soybean unlocks.
Yeah, I was investor in the soybean cash contract pre-sale. So yeah. I just want to touch on something real quick. I tweeted let's see if I got so many charts up. I tweeted this out. We'll talk about this real quick, then we're going to let Tucker cook again. Guys, we're doing the same thing that we do every single cycle. All right. Here's ETH in 2020. Here's Bitcoin in 2020. I've marked out the previous all-time highs. And I've also put these dots with some arrows on when Bitcoin made an all-time high, but shown time-wise on the ETH chart. Look at what happens, guys. Bitcoin sweeps the all-time high, pulls back to the bull market complacency shoulder of last cycle. We reaccumulate, doing the same thing right now. And then once Bitcoin recovers, then it becomes alt season, and you see Bitcoin dominance nuke, ETH, Chad, Sol, Chad, everything.
Max. The
Yeah.
previous bull market shoulder,
Yeah.
that would be like 48K, bro.
I actually have a little bit of a different view on it currently.
I bet you do.
but I'm not ready to talk about that.
All right.
But I do have a little bit of a different view on it, man, because we did have a double peak. And I think that the way I'm viewing our like final distributive last stand for bulls is a little bit different than most right now. But take it for what it is. Know that I've spent a silly amount of time thinking about it. But either way, this is where I think we're at, guys. This is where I think we are at. I am very convicted that on this next when Bitcoin recovers here, guys, this is when the real fun begins. This is when you see ETH go from 3,700. It's going to do this. It's going to do this. And then it's literally going to be at like you're going to blink and it's going to be at 9,000. Okay. You're going to blink and it's going to be at 9,000.
I need to attack the audience real quick.
No, you don't.
He's like, please let me attack them.
Will the audience attack or?
So,
Here
Mr.
it comes.
Says 305 retrace fits perfectly to 50K. That's a 30% retrace. Your retrace is going to get front run. Larry Fink already sent me the email. All right, I've said this many times, many times, and believe me, people this is the spot, guys. The fib fits right here. This is the retrace. This is where you're coming back. No, you're in an uptrend market. There's no retraces. There's no going back. There's no unlocks that matter. None of that stuff. All right. If there's an unlock, they will eat it. All right. They will eat it. I don't know if you guys have seen the GIF where basically they're sitting there eating a watermelon and literally just running their face across the watermelon and the entire watermelon disappears. That's how they're going to do these dips. Okay. They're going to do these dips just like that. They're just going to eat them all in one bite. So your unlocks do not matter. Your Bitcoin pulling back to the Fibonacci doesn't matter. There's no pullbacks. You buy stuff, you hold it, you stop crying, you're underexposed. That's why you're waiting for a pullback.
Wow.
We're now at the portion of the show where Will bullies a random commenter.
It's time for the chief. It's time for the chief meme officer to do something about that.
Oh man. Will just loves it, man. Will just loves it all. That's the thing. All right, Tucker, I'm going back to you, man. Cook for us. What do you got?
This has been the New York session thus far today. Because I was just trying to figure out, like, all right, where's Larry, man? I want to see him in the books. This has been New York, so nothing crazy, nothing too crazy, but here's what we do know, guys. Here's what we do know. Right about here is where we're going to be very soon. And there's only one reason for that, and that's because that's where Sato gets liquidated. And if you guys think this is a silly metric or whatever, it is the only indicator with 100% hit rate. Okay, they're going to get him. We were up here, and I said Sato's liquidation is 68.5. That's where we're going, and we nuked. Now, I didn't go get short. I didn't sell anything because I'm not a freak, okay? I took it like a man, all right? And now we're going up because he's short now.
Did you say I didn't sell anything because I'm not a freak?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
That's so real, man. Oh my.
Yeah, but so that's kind of my view short term, honestly, and I think this is a decent, we took out all these wicks. I don't think you get this one. I think you could maybe come down here, right? Jackus has talked about this. I didn't even know this, but when we broke all-time highs the last few times, we go tap the golden pocket. So wouldn't be shocked if we kind of like did one of these and then we just kind of grinded down. And it wasn't like this, like, bear euphoria sell off. We just kind of like grind down into here towards like the last week of March. And then we start going. Here's what I just don't want to see, guys. Like this would not be good, in my opinion. I don't want to see the 2-week close like that. Okay, that's a bad look. Okay, we can do the weekly. Like if we do the weekly, it's okay. But the 2-week, I don't think we can close like that. Also, the monthly, I don't want to see this thing swing failed. But either way, look, this is where I think you are, right? You're within this monthly candle. Okay. Now, back here, we did get barely above all-time highs and close below, right? But it wasn't like it looked a little bit better than what this looks like, right? But either way, that next month, I mean, you dipped, you had a little fall down, right? You fell 10% from the all-time high, which would be what, 6K 63, 10%, yeah, 61, whatever. So I don't know, any of that's possible, but look, all that matters is I'm going to use Max's rotated rectangle. You're in this leg, okay? So stop jeeting your bags because of what's happening within these monthly candles, right? Like this is the leg you're in. Like even if we go to a longer chart, right? You're in this leg, okay? You're in this area. It's like imagine getting shaken out by Chimp Zoo right here, okay?
Oh, I read that thread. I read it.
Yeah, imagine getting shaken out right here. Like what are we even talking about here? Also, Solana is going straight up in a straight line only, which is fantastic. Look at that, man. What are we talking about?
Jeez.
So
I got $2 in my bank account. All right, $2 in my bank account. That's it. $2. I can't even buy food. All right, that's the difference between me and everybody else right now.
wait, okay. This guy said we're in Jan 2021. Jan. Why Jan? We're literally at all-time highs. Tell me why. And don't tell me it's because of the number of green monthly candles, because that doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter.
Hey, I gotta pull a Tommy here just quickly to, the chief meme officer need to step in.
Here, Will's face.
Oh,
All right.
Oh my god.
That's it.
That's good. That's good. But yeah, look, I mean, what? There you go. There's another one.
Imagine being a golden pocket boy.
Yeah. Imagine thinking we're gonna hit the golden pocket and turn around. Like,
Wait,
what?
Tucker, you didn't see the Elliott Wave 5 at the golden pocket?
Oh my god. I forgot this was the fifth. This whole thing. I forgot it's just a bear market rally, guys. So we should probably exit all markets.
It's a cartel pump.
So the
Yeah,
audience
this is a cartel pump.
Because I know a lot of people are probably like, oh, I know what I'm talking about. Go and look at my Twitter. It's pinned at the top. Look at each one of my buys at the exact bottom of each run up before we ran multiple thousands of dollars to the upside.
We're now at that phase of the stream where Will tells you he was right again, guys. Okay, so we progress through this. It's audience attacking.
I was right.
Attacking, and then I was right. C, and then he's going to drop some alpha.
Yeah.
But Will, please proceed.
Oh, just a quick to address this comment. Why doesn't the number of monthly green candles matter? Bitcoin has never had 7 in a row before now. That's not true. It had 7 monthly candles in a row. It was during 2013. Yeah, exactly there. Exactly
Probably
there.
somewhere in
Yeah,
here.
there. You had it.
This one?
Yeah, there. Yeah, there. It had 7 green monthly candles in a row, and it's true that there was the ace one was a bearish one, and that's something that we are kind of anticipating as well, that BTC could go in a range here. But look what happened after. Yeah, there.
Yeah. Yeah, but look what happened after. We went straight up in a straight line. Like
what Matt and I wrote a very deep, in-depth, full of data thread on it on Twitter, and it matters where it happens, right? If it were to happen like 200% above prior all-time highs, then that would be causing trouble. The fact that it's happening around all-time highs with the structure leading to it. What I think happens, and again, it's a game of probabilities, right? But what most likely happens is a sideways month, of April, and then higher next.
The point being here is like people are so underexposed. It shows every single day. Every single day. Like if you guys have money to buy food, you are doing this wrong. Okay, you're absolutely doing this wrong.
I might have to be the audience attacker here, guys.
This market, like, look,
if you have money to buy food, you are wrong.
I'm so overexposed to this market. Okay, so overexposed that if this market goes down, I'm homeless. All right, I'm homeless. So here's the thing. That's the difference between me and everybody else right now who keeps talking about this retrace that's not going to happen. Like the convictions are just different. They're just different. Like it's not hard to tell what is going on here, people. Like
if this market goes down, I'm homeless, he says.
Can we quote that? Listen, that's how we name our Monday stream.
Look,
you can tell it's a Friday, guys. You can tell it's a Friday.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like people are they're not convicted enough. That's how, Max, this is how you could tell the market's going to go higher. When everybody keeps talking about the retrace, you already know, like people have a ton of underexposure right now, probably sitting cash heavy, right? And they're waiting for the retrace. And they're trying to pick a specific number and they're trying to say it will go here. I've seen some of the best TA guys like in the space that did really well in 2021 and 2022 completely get blown out 2023 and 2024 because they can't get out of that. They can't get out of that mindset. They can't, like you're at all-time high. What the hell is telling you in your head?
What's the difference, right, between a bear and a bull is, or someone looking for a retrace, right, is like they look for a retrace because they don't want to buy now, because they don't want to see a red P&L. They don't want drawdown. People like us don't care about drawdown, right?
Dude, the lower we go, the more bullish I get because I understand the backdrop. That's the difference.
It's like, can you handle drawdown or not? Are you a Chad or not? Like,
Patriots are in control.
Patriots are in control. Yes, clearly.
Like at this point in the game, it's not like, look, study NVIDIA, study SPY,
study Vin Diesel,
study Vin Diesel,
study Vin Diesel.
Like you're at all-time high. You have no direction but up. That's it. There's no double top. There's no blah blah blah. Go follow Capo if you want to be poor. That's fine. Like it's okay.
Study poverty.
I'm here to study wealth.
Is that financial advice, Will?
No, I mean it's life advice. Capo gives financial advice when he makes people poor.
I love it, man. Will starts cooking, man.
I mean, man, I love when Will shows up just feisty. It's my favorite.
He is feisty today.
I know everyone in here took economics, at least through high school, right? And if you didn't, I understand. Maybe that sucks. But if you took economics, I'm sure they taught you in school how to be poor, right? You should do exactly the opposite of whatever the school taught you. So if they say, hey, be conservative, don't be conservative. If they say, hey, go and buy a house and do this and that, go and buy assets and do this.
You guys want to hear something? Okay, speaking of buying a house, like apart from the markets we're looking at, just like how archaic and behind the times banks are. First of all, it's a terrible time to be buying a house, first of all.
Mhm.
Okay. And I'm at a point where I'm still renting, and I'm doing that intentionally. I sold my house in April of 2022, basically at the top of the market, and we've pulled back slightly, and I've been renting since. And now I have a kid, and my wife wants a house, and I was like, all right, you know what? Like, I might just have to capitulate and buy this house. Like, it's not a good investment, but we might just have to do it. So I get on the phone with a banker, because we're gonna basically go through like the pre-approval process to get a mortgage. And this dude tells me, yeah, we can only use your 2022 income to determine what will issue you a mortgage, like the amount will issue you a mortgage. And I was like, so nothing current, like not even 2023, no, like how's 2024 going, like nothing, just 2022. And he's like, yeah, we could only use 2022. And then I was like, okay, well, that's not exactly an accurate picture. A lot can change in like 2 years' time, but all right. 2022 was fine. I guess we'll just, put down more cash and get a smaller mortgage. And then he's like, yep. And, we can only issue you a mortgage based on 43%, 43% of your 2022 monthly income. And I was like, okay, so explain that to me, because I must be missing something. That seems ultra conservative. So he's like, all right, so if you bring in 10 grand a month, that means that your total monthly debt obligation can only be 43%. So we would include car payments, boat payments, any fixed debt payments you have. We would only issue you a mortgage that would get you up to 43% of that. So if you brought in 10 grand a month gross, they'll give you, they'll allow you to have 43% of that 10 grand towards debt. I like cars. I got 2 nice cars. I put down very little on them because I don't mind making the payments, and I got cheap interest rates on them. So I'm like, okay, so based off my 2022 income, you would basically issue me nothing, is what you're telling me. And I am more than qualified to get a mortgage right now, guys. More than qualified. But because I'm not a W-2 employee, they will only loan me money to buy a house, which is apparently only supposed to go up in value and is fully collateralized, because we get appraisals done, off of 43% of my income 2 years ago. You are underexposed to this market because you will never have the opportunity to achieve the American dream unless you literally ape shit coins. And that's the truth. That is the truth. And I said to this guy, I was like, look, man, and by the way, this is not his fault, okay? He's a pencil pusher. Like he's the banking equivalent of the guy
Max
that
knows
checks
his
you out.
stuff, by the
Hang
way,
on,
for the
hang on.
audience.
He's the banking equivalent of the guy that checks you out at the grocery store. He doesn't make the policy. I'm not gonna like give him a piece of my mind. But I said to him, I was like, dude, that seems ultra conservative. Like that's not an accurate picture of where we're at right now, not even close. And I have the cash to put down more on a house, but it's kind of ridiculous, right? Like you won't even acknowledge my 2023 and 2024. Like a lot can change in 24 years. I've started 3 businesses. Like how can you possibly look at 2022? And also 43% is extremely low. They're expecting you to save, 60% of your income. I mean, it's kind of insane, right? Like it just is not accurate at all. And I was like, man, this is kind of brutal. I was like, I don't even know, like it's not even worth me trying to like apply here. I'll just buy a house in cash then. This is silly. And my wife finally, like it clicked for her. She said to me after, she's like, I don't even want to buy a house right now. And you know what else is such a scam about buying a house? A lot of people don't even take the time to look at this. When you amortize your mortgage, they front load the interest. Okay. If you look at an amortization schedule on your mortgage, and by the way, I showed this to my wife last night because I was like so off of buying a house, and she didn't know this stuff. They don't teach you this stuff. You have to actually look at it yourself. So she was like, well, if we pay a bunch in rent, that money just kind of gets burned. But, if we buy a house, and it's expensive, at least at that point, we're paying down the mortgage. And I said, well, no, not actually, not until the second half of the mortgage. The first 5 years of the mortgage, your monthly payment is like 90 to 95% interest. You don't actually get to pay down your principal until the second half of the mortgage. They literally screw you, guys. They literally screw you. They trap you into these 30-year notes. and they drown you in interest and don't even give you the opportunity to pay down the principal until the second half, till you're 15 years into a note. It's literally the biggest scam ever. Why would they not just do equal amount principal, equal amount interest? Just split it up. Every payment is half principal reduction, half interest to the bank for using their money. Nope. Front load the interest. 95% interest, 5% principal reduction. And then at the very end of it, when you're 60 years old, at the very tail end of your mortgage, then you start chipping away at the principal balance, and you may own the house outright. You will never own anything outright unless you ape shit coins. That is not how the system is set up. I'm not even fucking around with you guys.
Did you tell them you have a puppet?
I own a puppet. Absolutely, I own a puppet because
did
I
they
enjoy
take it as collateral?
See, that's the thing too, man, is they literally view me as like a neurotic flight risk that should be locked up in a mental institution wearing a straitjacket. Like, they look at my income and they're like, holy crap. Like, this man is like, yeah, he makes more than most, but he is literally the most unstable human being ever.
Dude,
They're just
Max,
so out of touch with the reality, man, of where we're at right now.
Dude, Max, the exact same thing happened to me when I bought my fiance a car like a week ago. Exact same thing. They were like, yeah, we can't take bank statements. We need a W-2, whatever. And I'm like, can I just show you my wallet? Or like, what do you want to do here? I'm like, I'm not putting shit down.
Yeah.
Like 72 months, whatever. And they were like, oh, I don't know if we can do that. I'm like, all right, see you later. I start walking out. They're like, oh, please, come back.
Yeah. Exactly.
Clown world, dude.
It's a broken system, man. And that's why you guys are here watching the shows, because you recognize that you have to be here in this market doing this because you prefer an elevated quality of life. You have dreams and ambitions of getting out of this giant debt trap that you've been forcefully pushed into. You will never own anything and you will be happy. I mean, that's the mantra. They encourage you to take on more debt because you need to in order to not literally be poor. Literally. And by the way, when the system collapses, when the national debt tally stops ticking up, that's when the whole system collapses. A lot of people think that that's the problem. No, it's only a problem if people stop borrowing. So you want the debt to continue to increase because the whole thing is going to literally, like, the whole Ponzi stops when people stop using debt. That's the only thing that's keeping it going. So I choose otherwise. I'd rather just get killed and pay rent and keep my money invested and earning than tie up $200,000 in a down payment, locking myself into a 30-year note at 8% right now, only to be front loaded with debt by the bank, literally scamming me. They flip me upside down in order to even get approved for the note, and I'm supposed to bend over and say thank you. Screw you. I buy shit coins instead, and I'll just buy a really nice apartment. I'm done with these clowns, man. Like, they're literally clowns,
I'm in the same boat.
Disaster.
Yeah.
I loved what you said there, and it's something that we here obviously know, but it seems lots of people do not. And when you talked about the rent versus mortgage ratio, and by the way, it's kind of funny, right? Because we know how lots of vice work, and I do not mean it in the bad way, but it's simply how things are. And they are like many times like, just do it, just get the house, man.
Yeah.
And you're like, but it's it's kind of a bit more complicated than that. Here is how it works. And when they found out, obviously it's a different story. But there is something with the mortgage and the rent ratio, and there is a actually useful ratio you guys can use to know if houses are better to rent or buy and pay a mortgage, right? And whenever you are paying and I think the ratio is around 5 or 3. But whenever you are, like, if you combine all your rents through a year, and if those rents are worth less than 3% of the house, then it's worth renting to pay the rent rather than buying the house and paying the mortgage, because the houses are way too expensive at that point, right? So I'll repeat that. If you guys combine your yearly payment on the mortgage, yearly payment on the rent, and if that one is worth less than 3% of the overall house, then it's better to pay the rent rather than to buy it and pay the mortgage, if you are even able to achieve the mortgage. Because as Max just described, it's becoming incredibly hard to buy a house nowadays in the whole Western world. It's I see it's in the US, I see it's all over Europe, it's in my country as well. It used to be that a working man could buy a house, pay the mortgage, provide for his wife, his family. Nowadays, or like not even nowadays, 10 years ago or something, you had to take your wife and you had to take the mortgage together. Nowadays, lots of pairs cannot even do it together, right? That's how it's getting absurd with the house.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, man. I wanted to just show you guys this because I was explaining this, and this is why it's such a freaking scam. Let's just say you take out a $750,000 mortgage, okay? Which, by the way, depending on where you live, like in my area, I live in Minneapolis. Like you don't get that much for like 750 to $1 million anymore. Like, I mean, there's some areas where you could get a lot. In most big cities, like nothing. It is not much. Okay. $750,000 mortgage, 30-year fixed rate. Right now it's at, roughly, if you've got over 700 credit, 7.6% here, at least in my city in the US. Okay. Look at this. After year one, okay, you're going to pay $56,000 in interest, and your principal reduction, your loan being reduced, is only going down $6,700. But now let's go to the last year. In the last year of the mortgage, it's the opposite. You only pay $6,900 in interest, and you get your principal reduced by $56,000. Why do they do this, guys? Why do they front load all of the interest? Why is the interest so much in the beginning and the principal so little? It's to their advantage, not yours. They're literally completely fucking you. And most people don't even know what an amortization calendar is. They just go, oh, well, I'm paying my loan. When I make my payments, it goes back into reducing what I owe. Yeah, barely. For the first 10 years, it's not shit.
Only
Literally.
if you overpay, Max. Only if you overpay.
And
That's
there's
the
no
only
way to not overpay right now. No way to not overpay right now. This may be the worst time in history to ever buy a single family home. Ever. The only way that this whole thing right here works, all of this works, locking yourself in for 30 years at 7%, the only way it works is if home prices continue to go up 15 to 20% a year. And guess what? There's a stalemate in the market right now. There's a housing bubble and there's a stalemate. It's only really going to collapse if people lose their jobs, okay? But right now, sellers are not motivated and there's not as much demand there on the buy side because of how broken this is.
Yeah, the buy side is jacked. Nobody's gonna buy that, bro. Like nobody's buying into that. And housing's only gonna go up. That thing. And so as people continue to jack prices and there's this big stalemate, there will be a bubble, I think, at some point, and it will pop.
Bro,
how long can they hold it up?
Man. This is literally like ridiculous right here, man. Like I can't believe that they get away with this and we all just allow it. Why would this not be like equal interest, equal principal? Like why? Like this is such a blatant scam and nobody calls them out on it or does anything about it. Why would they be allowed to do that? Why would it, if your monthly payment is $5,295, why would 2,600 of that, per month not be principal and 2,600 of that be interest? Why do they get to front load it like this?
Because it's become a business.
And then in the second half, because they know that the majority of people don't actually honor a 30-year fix, and most people after 5 or 10 years buy a new house, right? So you're paying all this interest, you don't get any principal reduction until the very tail end of it, because they know that you're not going to get into the tail end of it. How many people stay in the same house for 30 years? Most people don't. They're literally screwing you. They're screwing you. And you're saying thank you. I'll happily sign here. Anyways, man, it gets me so heated. Like it is such an absolute scam, man. It literally makes me so pissed off. Like, and people don't know this. Like they literally they're told that, yeah, well, when you make your payments, it goes to reducing the balance, and they just get fucking scammed, man. They get scammed. Drives me crazy. Buy shit coins.
Javier is saying capitalism, and man, people do not understand what's capitalism, and it's triggering me just as much as you, Max, because they look at the
Thank
current
you.
system. Yeah, they look at the current system and say it's capitalism. But man, if you, for example, have a central bank controlling the issuance of money, that's not capitalism. That's already socialism. And but they call it capitalism and say it's broken. So you see lots of socialists blaming the current system, saying, "Hey, it's capitalism." But what they're actually blaming is their own system, and they do not even know it because they do not understand it. Right? Capitalism is a free money,
Well,
free market where you can trade without as less government and regulation interference as possible. And whenever you start to break it with regulation, you break it legit. So and it's never really like you either have capitalism or socialism. It's always like a scale, right? And you can be like 60 to 40 or 40 to 60 or 30 to 70, So that's what people should understand, but they do not, man. And I could,
well,
Max, we could talk about this for hours.
Hours.
It's
We're gonna
always,
have a
guys,
dedicated stream, Jack, because we
Yeah.
need to do a video together where we just talk about all of this for like 2 hours straight. We could unpack this so deep if we wanted to.
we do
I
it
want to add
after
one thing.
bull market.
Yeah.
I want to add one thing to that, and then I guess we can move back. But the one thing is that like a lot of people exactly to what you were saying, Jack, is capitalism, but it's only capitalism if it's a business. The banks are using your money that you have in your account to give these loans out, right? So they're using our money to give these loans out, and then they're being predatory about it on top of it. That is not capitalism. The banks were never designed to do that, but they're doing it anyways. The banks are run by the Federal Reserve, right, which is an arm of the government. That means your government is preying on you, not capitalism. Capitalism is free and open for businesses, not for the government to prey on its people.
Again, yeah, it's a scale, guys. It's a scale in the society. So it's never, it's never even in a freaking communism. You have partials where there can be capitalism involved, but it's always about the scale. And about certain parts of the economy. You can have, you can like have a free market in one segment and then not have a free market there. Like for example, in Czech, our schools are run socialistically, and something else can be run capitalistically. So it's always about the scale.
Anyways, let's talk about how to make money so that none of this shit matters for us. Tucker, what are we looking at?
Good old Bitcoin on the lower time frames. We are just doing nothing, man. This is brutal. Watching paint dry right here. I need to see something, man.
It's a good thing. No. We want to see Bitcoin range for the next 2 months. I'm telling you.
I legit want to see. Our altcoins are bleeding.
We want to see Bitcoin range for the next 2 months. I'm telling you, that's what we want.
Do we?
Yes, we do. We do, because Bitcoin isn't exactly ranging right now. It went up. Now there is a shakeout. It will start to range hopefully in like a week or two.
We need this thing to nuke, man. That's what we need, Jackus.
That's what we need, and that happens when BTC starts ranging.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
I would like us to range more up here, though, rather than down here.
I think this is okay. It's totally good. Totally good.
Yeah, I think it's fine too. I mean, we can expect the Bitcoin ranges, and I think uptrend as well. People say it shouldn't look like 2021, and it probably won't in terms of velocity. But as far as like structure goes, I just imagine like what Bitcoin did in 2021 over a longer period of time almost. And I could see that being kind of how this cycle plays out. If that's the case, I mean, you're going to have numerous alt seasons sprinkled in between Bitcoin trending.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see, man. We got to go get Sato first, and then we'll go from there, guys. Nothing else matters. Nothing else matters.
Study Sato.
Yeah, study Sato, man. But what about the frog, man? How are we feeling about the frog?
What's the frog doing?
Frog is fantastic, man. It's literally just getting ready for the next leg up, brother.
Yeah,
I got some propaganda I'm working on right now if you want to see it.
I bet you are, Max. Yeah, let's see it.
Max propaganda. You love to see it.
Let's talk about it. ETH, Pepe, Bonk.
I mean, if Bitcoin gets any release or like relief, Sol is probably going to go vertical this weekend.
This is pretty clear to me. We're going to need ETH to, kind of round out and, probably go up like this. And as soon as that happens, we're going to go like this. We're going to do this whole like 3-leg, parabola. Something like this. Just like Sol did. Just like Bonk did. It's all the same, man. It's just different levels of beta on, on different L1s. That's it. But we need ETH to behave. So be patient.
We do indeed.
Do we need ETH to behave, man? Do we need ETH to behave, or do we need Bitcoin and Sol to behave?
We need them to not nuke. That's all.
Well, yeah.
Well, that's a circular question, because in order for ETH to behave, we need Bitcoin to behave, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
I still say we do need ETH BTC to go up for alts to properly fly. I still do think that. And so far, I have not seen a reason to think otherwise.
Yeah. We're probably getting somewhat close to ETH BTC local bottom, honestly.
It's been ranging. You can see it's making lower highs and higher lows. So the chop is going on.
Yeah.
And it's going to take a decisions soon. I would say by end of, like in April, the decision is there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what do you guys think people are gonna think if end of year all of a sudden we're at like, I don't know, 90K, 100K Bitcoin, and they were all expecting this big pullback that was supposed to occur, and
Here we go
we're
again.
already up there.
It's going to happen, Will.
And then they're sitting there talking about, oh, this is 2020 going into 2021, when in reality it's it's been basically 2021 the whole time, and we might just have an extended 2021. Like, people always, they never expect the unexpected, because people are always expecting these BTCD dominance, and the dollar, and all these things that don't matter, they're all fake to actually matter. I mean, they matter in some degree, right? They can tell you like tops and bottoms to a degree, but like they're just like, the dollar is a made up imaginary piece of paper. A lot of people just don't understand it. That happened the day that they came off the gold standard, right? It's the dollar is now whatever the government dictates it to be. The dollar is whatever value that the government dictates it to be at, and people don't get it.
What is the government dictating on the like button?
State-sponsored like appreciation.
177.
The government is dictating 200 at minimum.
Guys, we got 250 people watching right now on YouTube alone. We probably got at least double that on X. Guys, run this up for us. If you guys are enjoying the discussion, if you guys are enjoying the charts, if you are learning something, if you are not learning something, do us a solid. Hit that thumbs up, guys. Hit that like button. It really helps us out, helps us grow as a channel. And again, we are so appreciative of your guys' support day in and day out. But yeah, guys, please take one quick moment. Hit that thumbs up button for us. 186. All right.
By the way, there was a super chat by Goku XBT. Maybe you guys want to address that.
Tucker, would you be able to chart Prime?
Prime?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh my God. Oh man. Yeah, we were I was being told to buy here and I didn't. I was in other things. That also did
I
well,
haven't
but
even looked at it. I
that's
got something in my
wild,
wallet.
man. That is wild. 9x, yeah. I mean, what do you want me to chart, bro? This thing's going straight up in a straight line. I mean, we could do a little let's just take this high to low or something. Let's do this and do this and do this.
Somebody sent me something like that, and it was a shitcoin, and I sent them back a message. I said, "There's nothing to chart here." I'm like, "What do you want me to chart?"
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Well, you're good at charting." I'm like, "It doesn't matter." I'm like, "You're going straight parabolic. Like, what? There's nothing. There's no consolidation. There's nothing. You can't buy something like that. That's just like straight guessing."
Well, you reminded me of The Rock when he was wrestling. It doesn't matter what you want.
That's your retraces. That's what it is.
Iconic.
The market
That's
doesn't
iconic clip,
care
man.
about your retraces.
Yeah.
You're not even there yet? Wow. That's
I always loved it.
oh my god, the 1618 is like 2x from here.
Bro, you're in price discovery above all time. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
What are we targeting here?
That's about it. That's as much as I can do.
Are we looking at an entry? Like, I guess what you always add context to your question on why you're asking this.
They're
That's true.
launching
That's
due
true.
to news with Solana.
That's true, because when we are, and I hear this often, Will, that people ask about like charting when we are at price discovery on a new listing, right? Like, what is there to chart? Take partial profits, or like.
I could slap up a fib, but that's about it, and that's kind of guessing. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
do
literally what I
trust
did.
fibs,
Well,
but
that's literally all we did was throw a fib on it.
yeah, I mean, there's nothing else you can do once you're in price discovery other than go with the fib, and a lot of the time the fib does play, but like, if you're not buying before all time high, what are you doing? Again, the reason why people are talking about Bitcoin's retrace, you have no clue what's actually coming, absolutely zero. Like, you're gonna go to sleep, the retrace is gonna happen, you're gonna wake up, and you're gonna be like,
Oh,
And he's gone.
He got rugged.
and
Straight up rugged.
rugged.
I'm blaming the government.
yeah, that was the government. That was the government. They didn't want me to deliver.
And there we go.
Were you done, Will, or do you want to finish that thought?
Oh no, I was just I don't know where I stopped, but I mean, again, I think like people are gonna go to sleep and wake up and end up way higher than where they went into cash, waiting for the pullback, and then have to buy a lot higher. I think people have not, like, just there's been so many people in this market who have not experienced Bitcoin in its greatness, and Bitcoin is moving into its greatness. It is moving into its massively, massively upside greatness. And look, all I'm gonna tell you, all right, Mandingo is a real person. You're about to see a lot of candles that look like Mandingo. All right.
Wow, man. This show's had a little bit of everything.
Oh my goodness. Oh man. Oh well, jeez.
Study Mandingo.
Study Mandingo. There you go.
Study-
Study Mandingo.
Study
Oh,
Emmanuel. Some dolls, man.
oh my god. Imagine watching a different YouTube show live every day.
It's true.
Imagine.
Bitcoin is
Just
so
Google
boring.
Mandingo if you don't know who he is. Google it.
No, Will, you can't tell people.
Do not move Mandingo. How long until I get to speculate on this as a Solana shitcoin?
Huh?
How long until I get to speculate on this as a Sol shitcoin?
Probably not
That's
very
true.
long.
Look at this comment.
I see. Oh.
Is Will cooking or venting?
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell.
That's Will's an artist. All right. It's up to the interpreter, to the viewer of the art, what that means. All right, guys. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Hang on one sec. I got to pull something up here. I got to pull something new up here. All right, I got some alpha for you guys. Does anybody know what this is at the top of the screen right here?
Oh, we got the countdown. Let's go, Max.
Does anybody know what that is?
Oh my
I
god.
do.
It's on. It is on.
Pop quiz. What is that?
Oh man, they're cooked. It's over.
You guys have been warned for months. We're going to scroll down. Beautiful website. Shout out Ed. Here we go. Here we go. Oh my. What are these red numbers?
Oh no.
Guys,
Oof.
if you've ever had any interest in joining our Discord and hanging out with
Honestly.
us, yes, hanging out with us, now would be that time, guys. Prices are going up. All right. Prices are going up very, very soon. All right. We had a meeting yesterday for the BB terminal. It's looking like we're going to try to launch it as close to the halving as we can. Discord's going to get early beta access, and it's not going to be completely done for like 6 months. Like, we're adding so much stuff to it, but we're going to try to drop it as soon as we possibly can. All right. Right now, you can lock yourself in. You can lock yourself in right now at this current price of $149.99 per month forever. Okay. It's going up dramatically, as you can see. All right. It is going to go up dramatically. We're doing that intentionally. All right. If you're such good traders, why have a paid Discord? I don't know, man.
Oh, I just explained it today.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even want to I mean, I guess I'll address it, right? Because we can. I don't know. Because we can, and it's nice to build multiple income streams. And again, we can accomplish a lot of different things. For me, a lot of it is I love to teach, I love to educate, I love to help. I also love creating businesses and building multiple income streams. So if everybody can win, you know, I mean, try it out. You'll see. It's not some like garbage, shilly little Discord like a lot of these guys pop up. Like, if you guys are in there in the comment sections, let them know. Like, let them know what's up. It's insane. It's fantastic. But yeah, if you've ever had an interest in trying it out, now would certainly be that time. And again, you will get the BB terminal when it drops. One, you'll get early access to beta test it and help us build it. But two, you will again get that included in this membership. All right, you will get it included for no additional cost. So if you've ever wanted to get in, guys, prices go up right here. Look at the countdown. It's in real time. All right. So guys, it will make a big difference. You want to have a community and a team that you can lean on. Look at this comment, man, from Dan.
Wow.
Thank you. Because the Discord is worth it, man. The members know. Yeah, you can cancel anytime, guys. Try it out for a month. Again, here's what I don't want to have happen. This is your opportunity to try it for a month.
It will happen regardless.
It will happen. I don't want you to wait until we jack the price up and then I have to be a jerk on here and say, we're not knocking it back down. We already have hundreds of members. We want to give everybody the attention. You try it now, it's $150. It's all you can lose if you hate it, and you're not going to hate it. It's absolutely fantastic. But if you wait 2 days, 7 hours, 42 minutes, and 54 seconds, then you take a much bigger risk to see it. Okay.
Max, it's the same type of guys that you keep telling them the whole bottom to buy Bitcoin, then it goes above all-time high, and they ask, "Is it still a good time to get in?"
Yeah.
Study Mandingo. That's the amount of value you get. All right. Study Mandingo.
All right. Anyways, guys, this is on our website. It's the first link in the description below. Again, I just, it's a really great experience. we're kind of working on what we're going to do. Like, we have a number that we've hit and we're about to hit where we might even do a system just so it doesn't get too crowded. Cause I know people are still going to buy it when the price goes up. It's going to slow dramatically, which is by design. But we might do a system where like you can only pay this much to get in as soon as people drop. Cause I can't let it get too crowded. It's too important to me.
One in, one out, Max. One in, one out.
Yeah. So like, I'm just letting you know, like, this is the window. All right. This is the window. First link in the description below. Definitely consider checking it out. Again, you can go read our testimonials here. You can read reviews. You can check it out, man. Terminal's going to be great.
Are we at a like threshold?
What's that?
Are we at a like threshold that I can drop some alpha or no?
Well, we're wrapping up the show here, so we'll have to save it for Monday. All right.
I mean, it only takes 2 seconds, but I mean, you know.
All right, go ahead, Will.
So I just want to throw it out there. All right. Study Crow Coin. Study it.
Oh, no.
All right. Study it. I know, Tucker, study it. All right, that's all. We don't need a chart. We don't need any of that stuff to study it.
I'm studying right now, Will. I'm studying right now.
I'll add the alpha to the Discord.
Okay.
Study it.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, guys, check this out. All right, first link in the description below. It's absolutely epic. You're going to want to try it out. You're going to want to use BB Terminal. This is that window of time. Again, I put this up here. Well, Ed put this up here at our direction because I don't want anyone saying they didn't see it on the website or they waited and didn't know. There it is. That's it. Sooner rather than later. But I'm going to kick it over to Tommy to say a final farewell. But yeah, guys, great show.
You're
on mute, Tommy.
You're on mute, Tommy.
Completely over.
Oh,
yeah,
no.
I saw.
It's over.
Oh, man. Yeah, guys, this show had pretty much some of everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know we definitely did. But another great show, like I said. Thank you for tuning in, of course, smashing that like button for us. We hope you guys enjoy your Fridays. Real quickly, to touch on our programming here before we wrap up, a reminder that Market Check will return next week, Monday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time is typically when we start. As you guys can see, we do charting, trading, and technicals, but we also have a lot of fun mixed in. And yeah, you never know the direction that this show can go at the end of the day. But we will be back next week. We are live every single weekday, like I said. And a reminder that there is no second best daily YouTube live stream to talk about these markets. Also, don't forget to check out our flagship show, Market Talk, which is a Twitter space hosted by King Wabi. He does a fantastic job over there. We have some amazing guests on every single day. And really, you know, I listen to just spaces casually on Twitter all the time. It makes me appreciate Market Talk that much more because it really is such a well done show. And honestly, just, you know, paced well. The people that they have up on stream or on the spaces are always exceptional. So definitely make sure to check out that as well. That typical start time is around 4:15 to 4:30 Eastern time. And that is live Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. But that's it from us, guys. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Friday, fantastic rest of your week. Take it easy this weekend. We'll be back on Monday, like I said, and thanks again for tuning in.